follow this woman on Instagram, and her name is Carla. I think I've talked about it before on there. She's a woman been married 7 years. Sounds like a great guy, husband she's married to. She grew up in the church, and now she's dating women. I think she's tried to hide it, pray it away for years, and then I guess get hit with conviction, and now I guess she's back open to it or whatever. She's a very intelligent woman. I discerns the Eastern Star or whatever and all that. But I feel sorry for her. I don't know. I'm not a woman, not a lesbian. I don't know how those relationships work. I don't really care to. But I understand growing up in the church and having somebody put in your head how you're supposed to think, you're supposed to do, and all that stuff. And you can spend your life and you can find yourself like her in bed with a man 50 years old, with a man you ain't even in love with. I think that maybe she's not in love with him no more as far as men. I think that for her, she's walked this path with him, and I think it's more about protecting her child. I think she loves him, but it's more like I love you more than it is I love men. And I wonder if he wasn't around, would she just stick to women? I don't really understand this poly stuff. People that want to have a man and a woman. I had dated a woman that was like that. I don't really get it. I've never felt like that at all. Not just because of diseases, but I don't really like that. And people want to talk about how she's a slut and this is like against God and all that. My discernment is this happens. It's not a slut, it's not a whore. But it just, this is the other side of it. When we hear all this stuff about sexualizing kids, it's the other side of it. You grew up and you're indoctrinated. And you live your life. It's not your life. And it isn't the path Spirit intended for you. But you don't know that. Because you see that. And then like the other side, like, oh, the gay lifestyle is drugs and, whoring around and town. And that's how you think. Can't blame you. And to me that is I think that is so sad. This life we live is so short. Of course you gotta be there for a child. Of course, if her husband treats her well and everything works, she'll stay with him. But I feel a sadness for her that I cannot explain, of not being trapped, but that you're not living your path. See, source leads me in the way I should go. That's why I talk about discernment so often. Source leads me where I need to go. Not always I get the answer immediately. It's not a game. It's not a computer game. But I get the answer. And I move off discernment. I can't watch certain movies. I can't listen to certain shows. I can't do certain things no more. I love to do. And it shows me I wasn't supposed to be a truck driver. I wasn't supposed to be an architect. I wasn't supposed to be out on the road. I wasn't supposed to be in Pennsylvania. I wasn't work for any of this. I wasn't supposed to do any of this stuff. These Neanderthals out here. And I'm in my 30s. I'm happy. I'm not like I got a kid with someone I don't love, but I get it. This is why discernment is so important. It is paramount. And I feel sorry for her. Well, for one thing, she's in her 50s or late 40s or something, and she gotta get back to dating. What's that like? You've been with a man for like over 10 years now, 7 years, whatever. You get back into dating apps or something like that. A lot of people don't want that. A poly. I don't want a poly. A lot of folks don't want that. Somebody, because the way I look at it is, the minute things don't go right or we argue, you'll just go back to the other person. You'll just be like, I don't need it. Relationships are tough. And they're not simple. We're just ordinary people. The song, but we need to take it slow. And poly is almost like a person not in control of their hormones. But I understand for her, see, Once again, this is showing you. When people come out as gay or transgender, and they go to the mall, and they're like wearing like clothing that's not adult clothing or whatever, like it's trans, I guess. You'd be like, oh, they trying to mess with kids. No, it's because they never got to have that childhood. They never got to have that teenage period of learning and growing and all the things kids do when they're a teenager. You know, the mistakes you make. And, oh, I better do that again. You know what I'm talking about? You go, you spill milkshake on your jeans, or your shoes get muddy, or, you know, all the lessons you learned as a kid. You didn't have that. So now they're 60 years old, 50 years old, whatever, having to learn this. They're growing again. That's why they're like that. And I think that she's probably like that too. You know, if you were to ask her, having to relearn things that you never thought about before, because you lived your life trying to prove yourself to people that weren't worth it. I don't know if it's spirit or what. Just over this last year with Trump, it's just been trying to show me that we spend so much time out of our life focusing on people that don't mean a hill of beans. When you all add it up, it's the people that God forbid something happened to Colin. These folks will forget about it, wouldn't be thinking about it next week. And here you are putting your happiness on hold. Here you are altering the way you move, the way you walk, the way you talk for somebody that don't care. When I get up on these tankers, I got a harness back there. I got a lanyard. I put it on my back, under my arms, and I clip it onto the top of the ladder. That way if I was asleep, this is more something you do in the wintertime. You gotta be up, you gotta open all the dog legs, you gotta open up the hatch, put something under the hatch. There's 2 hatches. Lift it up, put some underneath it. It takes a little minute. When that shit be frozen, hard to open to do. Over the summertime, you gotta pop the top. So I do that. People be like, wasting my time, what am I doing? Do you know, I was in Virginia, that's when I did it. Something said to me, if I was to fall off that thing and crack my head and have to go to the hospital, I think them people would have forgot about me before I even make it to the hospital. You understand? That's I feel like spirit working on my heart something this last period of time of just knowing that you're spending too much time thinking about folks that just don't mean nothing. Yes, I have folks I care about. Yes, I have folks I respect dearly. Yes, I have folks that I've let borrow money to, big money. Yes, it's an honor to be able to help your friends. You know they're good people. It's an honor to be able to do that. It's an honor to be able to be there for you. It's an honor to be able to talk about all this racist shit, and then your friends, they do good things. Oh man, he's doing what he said he's gonna do. That's an honor. But I mean, I'm talking about people that don't agree with you on other things anyway. They don't even like you anyway. Why do you care about this? Because you got single women, or why do you care? Be you. Discover you. Walk your path. Follow source first. Put it before you. But walk your path and do it fearlessly. Because this life is so short, man. And to find love, that's a rare thing. It's an incredibly rare thing. And I just think that they got a fire inside, and I think you can let that fire go out. Dr. King talked about it, that there's a quote, they said that the true tragedy is what dies inside a man while he still lives. I'll say it again. The true tragedy is what dies inside of a man while he still lives. Dr. King said we begin to die when we stop caring about the things that matter, and it's really true. It's really true. That's all I'm trying to say. I feel she's talking about she's going to fast as far as like not doing sweets, follow March up to Easter. And I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna hold me to it. I'm gonna do it because I feel a sadness. I feel a melancholy, not a sadness, because a sadness would be upset to leave her husband. Her kid stuff was messed up. That'd be fucked up. If her kid was, divorced, that'd be fucked up. I don't feel sad for her. I feel melancholy because she's not living her true life. And I think these things should make us appreciate what we have, and make us appreciate the people in our lives, and sometimes you feel like in life things aren't going fast enough, or things are being delayed and things. Remember people like her who spent all this time, wanting to be a mother, wanting to be this. She put something on her social media that hit me. This is why I fell in love with her. She put up a video I saw a month ago. It was a montage of Whitney Houston and her female friend. So her friend was a lesbian. Whitney grew up in Jersey. She met this girl. They grew up together. And evidently they had sex, I believe. I didn't know. But her mama didn't like it. Her family didn't like it. They didn't go for it. And they made her, be with these boys and stuff. And, fake boat stuff. And then she wound up White Brown. And got hooked up. She was doing drugs before Bobby. And she died. And Bobby said that if she was allowed to be gay, she'd be alive today. And seeing that woman, she's still healthy and she's still on TV, I believe, recently. That this is what I mean. What's worse, her being her truth and being alive, or her going out the way she did. I mean, go back and watch that show. Do you think that's walking according to God's path? Go back and watch that show with her and Bobby. I was shameful. They should have never showed that shit. That made her look bad. Go back and look at her last days. She went to the Grammys or something like that. She was walking around drunk in this park bothering people, and then she wound up drowning in a bathtub. And I mean, is that walking God's path? Is this truly walking according? It was shameful, and it was sad. And I think of Michael Jackson in that these people, making you be something you're not, and then you end up dying something that you weren't supposed to be. Whitney died in a bathtub, drowned in a bathtub. Michael died, I think, of the painkillers or whatever. He was on the last show. Prince died. He wanted a private hotel. Maybe we can approach him. Back home, he died in his house. I don't want to go out like that. None of it. None of that. I don't think anyone should. And I'm just very dramatic. I'm not doing drugs. I don't think college is very dramatic. But I'm making the point that your society. T.D. Jakes said something years ago. I wish I could find this. He said that an oppressed people wait in the shadows to imitate the ways of the oppressor. And that without proper counsel, proper parents, proper guidance, the world will give you an image of what to be, and it's not good for you. And here it is, her thinking she had to be a mama, she had to be this, she had to be that. And maybe that wasn't it at all, maybe. Think about it. By now she could have had a wife, she could have had a house. I mean, she could have already been down the process, and now you're in your 50s, trying to get back into dating while you're being a mother and a wife to a husband and working. You're trying to date and find a woman that's a good woman, that's not going